When I first moved into the old cabin, it felt like a dream. Secluded, surrounded by dense woods with only the sounds of wind and distant owls. Yet one thing unsettled me. A large, grimy window facing directly into the thickest part of the forest. The glass was warped with age, and though the rest of the cabin felt warm, that side always seemed a little colder. I told myself it was just old construction. Still, I caught myself glancing toward it far more often than I'd like to admit. The first few nights I slept uneasily. The window had no curtains, only cracked shutters that barely closed. Some nights I swore I heard faint knocking against the glass. When I got up to check, there was nothing. No branches near enough to touch it. No animals in sight. Just my pale reflection staring back at me, looking almost distorted, like it wasn't quite following my movements. One morning I noticed something strange outside. In the thick carpet of fallen leaves just beyond the window, a small circular patch had been cleared, almost perfectly. No footsteps, no signs of struggle, just a smooth, empty ring, as if something had been watching from that exact spot all night long. A chill worked its way up my spine. I decided to board up the window, but something made me hesitate. That night I tried to sleep in the back room away from the window, but no matter how deep into the cabin I went, I felt it pulling at me, like a silent summons. I dreamt of standing in front of it, hands pressed to the cold glass, staring into pitch darkness. In the dream, something on the other side stared back, its gaze heavy and ancient. I woke with my heart pounding, a faint tapping already starting at the window. I forced myself to ignore it. For days I didn't look at the window. I stayed busy, hiking, chopping wood, anything to exhaust myself. It almost worked, until the day I found handprints on the inside of the glass. Not my hands. These prints were long, narrow, and pressed so hard into the grime that they left clear marks. The space between the fingers was wrong, inhuman. I felt the cabin's walls close in around me. One evening, desperate, I decided to confront whatever was outside. I waited by the window with a heavy flashlight and a fire iron clutched in my hands. Hours passed. Just when I thought I'd imagined it all, a faint silhouette shifted among the trees. It was tall, impossibly thin, and its limbs seemed wrong, bending at odd angles as it moved closer, pausing just at the edge of the clearing. I didn't sleep that night. I sat facing the window, flashlight trained on the woods. Around 3 a.m., the tapping began again. Softer this time, more insistent. The glass started to fog as if breath brushed against it from outside. The woods themselves stayed deathly still. Then for the first time I heard it whisper. Not words exactly, but a low rasping murmur that stirred something deep and primal inside me. I fled the cabin at dawn, stumbling through the trees, refusing to look back. When I finally did, gasping for air, I saw it, standing calmly at the window, not inside, not outside, but somehow within the glass itself. Its distorted shape rippled, slightly, as if trapped between two realities. And as I turned to run again, I heard the unmistakable sound of the window creaking open behind me. I didn't stop running until I reached the nearest town hours away. Locals didn't seem surprised when I gasped out my story. One older man just nodded grimly and said, "That cabin's been empty for years. No one stays long. Not after it chooses you." I realized with dawning horror that leaving hadn't freed me. I could still feel its presence, patient, relentless, as if the window now looked through me. I live in a new apartment now, miles from that forest in a bustling city. Yet at night the air sometimes turns cold and reflections ripple where they shouldn't. When I glance at my living room window, I swear I catch glimpses of those same, long-fingered handprints forming against the glass. I moved away from the woods. But the woods, somehow they followed me.